What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. So it means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. And so I hope everybody is having a fantastic Friday. Even though there's been some sad news, lately. Not so much in the city, but just going around town. I don't know how many of you guys were fans of Mac Miller. May not be familiar with some of y'all, but again, hey, hate to see folks go at such a young age. And like I wouldn't say I was the biggest fan, but RP to Mac Miller. But on a good note, man, it's fucking Friday. We got plenty of shit to talk about. We're going to kind of have a Texans versus Patriots preview. We're going to look at some things that we need to discuss going into Sunday's game. And then just like I say, just plenty of stuff to talk about, man. So y'all may be one deep this evening, and like I say, fucking Friday, got plenty of stuff to say fuck you to. And we're going to open up the sauce lines a little bit earlier than usual. And I'm thinking that might be the thing we start kind of doing on Fridays as we start getting into game day, just kind of open it up a little bit more, allow y'all to have some more say-so, so you're trying to get some more of your thoughts and more of your opinions. Give me just 1 second as I'm trying to tweak a couple of things here in the background, so don't mind me. But, again, I hope y'all are having a great day. I can't complain. Things are all right on the Honcho front, If you want to text the sauce line, there's the number for the sauce line. So y'all know what to text. I'll be like, oh man, you ain't put the number up there. I don't know where to dial. I don't know what to call up to contact. And again, I am your host, Senior Saucy. Houston homeboy, Houston homer, all that good stuff. At Honcho. So, while we get all that in order and occupied, there we go. That's what. Let's see what we got in the mix, man. Let's see what we got going tonight, and then we'll get in it to win it. We got plenty to talk about, like I said, and we'll get into some discussion. Let's see what we got here. Phoenix. Who let Phoenix be first? Why y'all let Phoenix be first? I ain't even got the bank open. Look, I be tripping. Look, players fuck up, man. Players fuck up. Look, I'm going to get the bank open, get that sauce activated, and I'm going to make sure I take care of everybody who has called in and texted in this week. I'll make sure to get your sauce added. It'll probably be before Sunday's game. And I'm thinking, I was still kind of debating, and y'all let me know what you think, because like I say, you guys are what makes the sauce so fresh. Should we go an hour before the game for the pregame show, or should we go an hour and a half before the game? Because right now we got it slated for an hour before the game, so it will be 11 o'clock. Or should we really get Sunday kicked off at 10:30? That way we got plenty to make sure everything gets discussed, every angle gets talked about, to make sure that everything that we need to discuss gets discussed. So we got Phoenix, we got Broderick, Got the Juice, David Pritchard, Darren Davis, what's the motherfucking deal? Kenneth Cologne, Tay Hill, Dylan Terrell, J. Pot, Kellen Boys, Outlaw Voodoo Child, what's the motherfucking deal? White Persuasion, Balin Rios, Hector Rodriguez, Max Vasquez, good to see you. Always good to see you, man. Texan Boy, what's the motherfucking deal? Your boy Anthony, Brian Cushing, man. I heard you was on the podcast today. So I hadn't had a chance to check that out, but I definitely want to get in that on the Arian Foster Now What podcast. So check that out if you hadn't seen that. Jay Dizzle, Jay Dizzle? Let me find out that was you in that Instagram post that you sent me, man. Why you did old buddy like that? That ain't right. You toxic, baby? Don't be toxic. Miss Voodoo C, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Yeah, RP Mac Miller, man, that shit was sad. Dominic, what's the motherfucking deal? Heidi, how are you doing this evening? Manuel, what's the motherfucking deal? I don't know how to say that, but I'm gonna try to get it right. Zuchin Liu. I'm saying Lou like Liu Kang, Hopefully I got that right. Let me know if I got that right or if I did not get that right. If I mispronounced it, hey, players fuck up, but I hope I got that right. Nas, what's the motherfucking deal? And I think Frank Aldaco, what's the motherfucking deal? Titans Up, what's good? Always good to see you. 290 Shouty, what's the motherfucking deal? Vampire Lord, what's the motherfucking deal? Jimmy R, you say an hour's good? Okay, hour's good already. Let's see. Look at that background. Hey, I don't know nothing about that background. We ain't gonna talk about the background. The background is the background. Berkeley Boss, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Let me make sure everybody has been properly pronounce. But man, like I said, hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all are doing well. And we got plenty to talk about. So I kind of want to talk about some of the things that we have to man things. What's the motherfucking deal? September football lies. If it goes well Sunday, don't scream about rings. Don't social media. If it goes bad, don't shriek. Exactly. Like I say, it'll be good to defeat the Patriots, but it's not the end all be all. It's not a real tell on the season. It's kind of, again, like I say, something that should have happened last year. I think it'll be a psychological hump for us as fans, but I think for the players themselves, because it's just kind of like, I don't know how many of y'all have older siblings. And, well, not in that sense, I did, but, we ain't gonna get into that. But if you, especially like if you're brothers, or I don't know how it works for sisters or something like that, if you're a younger sibling and you have that older brother, and, the older brother may be good at sports or good at something, and, year in and year out, you always try to defeat them. You always try to beat them, but for some reason, they're just always a little bit better than you. And that day that you finally defeat them, or maybe it works with the child to parent thing too. I guess it could work in that sense also. But, just for some reason you could never quite beat the older brother, or beat the older sibling, or beat your dad at something. And maybe it's a psychology thing. Maybe it's just a bad belief, whatever it could be. But then that day that you do, it's almost like you never look back. Like, oh, I beat you once, I can beat you anytime now. Now it goes from, you being, they being just a little bit over you to the bar becoming even to the point where you become the better one. So I think that's the kind of situation we're in when it comes to the Patriots. Like, we've been right there every time. You might, you fighting with your older brother in the backyard. You might get a couple of licks in, but for the most part, he beat your ass or something like that. It's just overall the series has been dominated by the older sibling. And finally, once you get that one win, or once you get that victory, the tables kind of start to turn. And I think that's the situation we're in when it comes to dealing with the Patriots, because we've been there on the brink, so close. Oh, if we would have only had this. Oh, if we would have done this. Oh, if we'd have called this play. Oh, if this guy would have been playing. It would have been a bunch of O's, you know what I'm saying? If you win, you do a Coke and strippers. Well, good grief. Look, save me a little bit of both. We'll talk about it. But my thing is, we just have to get that. I think it amounts to nothing more than the psychological victory. And I think that just kind of puts the Texans players who've been on this team for so long in a different mind frame. I think it helps them realize, okay, now we can really play with the big dogs. Because for so long we've been able to conquer the mediocre teams, the teams that we're supposed to beat. But when it comes down to teams that, that pose a challenge, that are a threat, we've had a little bit of an issue with, and we haven't been able to quite conquer those teams like we need to. So I think that's part of it. I think that we have to consider that. I wouldn't say we don't have a chance if Will Fuller's not playing. Did Fuller play last year? Was Fuller in the mix last year? I'm trying to recall, because Fuller was hurt early on, and he missed the first couple of games. I can't even remember. But my thing is this. Fuller, to me, is not the make or break piece. Again, if Kiki can play, and if Kiki is any of the things that they've been saying that Kiki Kuti is, then, Deshaun Watson should be able to thrive with another weapon in that offense. But I heard it's supposed to be what Coates has is it Coates? I think Kuti, there's a couple of guys that are like half the fucking receiving core are questionable. Excuse me. And then you kind of wonder, damn, well, should we have kept fucking Braxton? Kiki may not play either. That's craziness. But again, yeah. Now the situation does change. Now you look at, okay, well, now they may double Hopkins, but who's going to stop Hopkins? You can double Hopkins, and Hopkins can still eat. You have the running game opens up with the threat of Deshaun Watson being able to run, so it's not like they're going to just be able to immediately shut that down, because you have to respect what Watson brings to the table. You're going to have to keep an eye on him at all times. And honestly, more so than the offense, I think this comes down to our defense. The defense as a whole, with better play calling, with a better general at the helm, I guess you could say, with Romeo Crennel than Mike Vrabel. No excuses for Mike Vrabel. I think that the play calling for the defense should be adequate enough to keep Tom Brady from feeling comfortable in the pocket. I mean, we have enough weapons, Everybody defensively should be relatively healthy. I know the GOAT Kevin Johnson will be back. You know what I'm saying? And man, yeah, that's what I say. Bert, man, Bert was definitely. I'd love to have me old Bert staff. That don't look like that's ever going to happen. Voodoo said I have the mustache of a 14-year-old Mexican child, and that kind of hurt my soul a little bit. That's something that I will not forget. I'll be remembering that one day when you just wake up missing all the sauce in your account. I'll never forget that. But yeah, but here's the deal, though, man. Here's the deal. Yeah, I know Smith is a guy that they like, and we'll have to see what he's capable of. Because we saw him thrive against lower tier talent. So I really honestly don't know what Smith brings to the table because I haven't seen him go against, starters or star players. Again, not too worried about that. He's going to cushion. Look, man, I have no problem with Cushion. Oh, shit.
I want Cushing back.
Oh, make sure that's on. Stay where y'all can get the majigger. My thing is this too, and about Cushion, man. I tell y'all, man, like with the NFL, with sports period, I don't care about PEDs. I don't care about steroids. I mean, the way these dudes go at it all the time, I'd rather everybody be on fucking steroids. Because here's the thing, steroids don't help you diagnose plays better. They only help you recover. I mean, for the most part, HGH, shit like that, it's a recovery mechanism. It's not making you better. You can have all the muscles in the world. I mean, if it was all about muscles, then every fucking bodybuilder in the world would be a great football player. If it was all about strength, and that has nothing to do with it. So the fact that they go out and they make such a big deal about performance enhancing drugs, I don't think it has the same impact on the game of football that it may have in other sports. Maybe baseball, because again, you're be able to hit further and things like that. But as far as football, I mean, no quarterbacks are going to be taking steroids. It's not going to improve their fucking passing or anything like that. So I don't think that dynamic is a real factor in the NFL. But hey, we want to talk about the integrity of the game. So whatever. Again, but looking at the Pats game, and honestly, without those receivers, and I kind of feel like, honestly, even though we're saying these guys may or may not be, I think the Texans know who is and who isn't available. But I think they're trying to play the same game that Bill Belichick likes to play. And we all know Bill Belichick hates the injury report. He'll list everybody on the fucking injury report if he could get away with it, because he likes to play those mind games. And I think, in a sense, that the Texans may be trying to play a little bit of that game with them. And like I say, so we'll see what happens. I expect these guys to play. They've had a significant amount of time to get healthy, and if not, then that's a bad look to get started. So let's say shout out. So who's the 2 Sunday if Hopkins is the only wideout available? I think that Fuller will be available. I think Fuller will be available, and if not, and if he's not available, we'll just see what happens, man. Again, I think that there are enough tools that we can get in the end zone against that Patriots defense. It's not like they're world beaters or anything. We still have a capable enough offense to score. I have faith in Deshaun Watson. But we'll just have to see. I mean, it lessens the likelihood of seeing a blowout or a dominant performance like we would like to see.
Cole greater than Cushing. Cunningham greater than Cushing. #roids rule.
Yeah, man. I definitely. I don't know. Look, if Dylan Cole, I don't want to say the man is on any steroids. I want to give him. Even though I have said it before, I have said that he is on PEDs. I have definitely said that before. But I like what he's capable of doing. I have no worries about that. My thing is this, though. Lamar Miller, he may be capable of doing such. Look, he slimmed down. He's going back to Miami, Lamar Miller. So maybe he put up 200 some change on the Texans one time, damn near. Maybe he can do it to the Pats. So we'll see exactly what happens. J.J. Watt misses 2 straight to stop. But here's the thing. Man. Here's the thing. Chris said his PED bust for bogus on Foster's podcast today. Okay, see, I hadn't had a chance to hear it. I saw he was on there, but I hadn't had a chance to hear it. And that's what I'm just I'm curious to kind of see what he said about that, because I heard he was on there talking about concussions. I heard he was on there talking about a couple other things. And I actually enjoy seeing old Texans, you know, especially from the glory years, all two of them, and just kind of talking about, you know, situations that were. So I don't know if he got in depth like, you know, he did with Andre and with Dwayne. I don't know, when Hopkins was on there, he couldn't go too far into it, but I definitely want to check that out and see what happened. But, you know, yeah, oh my God, you ain't lying. As long as, look, at B.O.B., here's my thing. Now, I might be going out on a limb, okay? You know, we can look back in the past and we can talk about tendencies, we can talk about habits, we can talk about what's been going on historically. And I did say I was going to open up the Sauceline a little bit earlier, so give me just a second. We do have a couple of texts. But I want to believe, okay? I want to believe that we have a new and improved B.O.B. From the reports in camp, from the things that guys have said, you know, that B.O.B. seems to be more relaxed. He seems to be, you know, of a different personality. You know, he's saying that he's running a different offense. He's come out and said that he's made some changes to his coaching style, things like that. So I'm hoping that these things translate onto the field. But let me read a couple of these. Let me see what we got. Let me see. Okay, that was from that. Oh man, shout out to Sports Reacts. He sent something yesterday. Let me cover this first. And and I want to make sure, because he had sent this. Yeah, Sports Fan Entertainment is a not too bright character. Yeah, I see his prediction was. I'm not even going to go. I didn't even realize these were Sports Fans' predictions. Again, the fact that he said that, I'm just now looking. I'm not even going to read these now that I see that he put the Tennessee Titans on the AFC side. Sports Fans reacts as a retard, and y'all can tell him I said it. Like, I don't give a shit. Let's say Simpin Ken. My bad, Ken. I got you saved as Simpin Ken because I saved you whenever you was when you used to talk all that bullshit. So I didn't mean to call you Simpin Ken. You've been all right. I don't know how many backpacks you've been carrying in school, but you're all right. Says, I want to shout out to Jalen Ramsey and him speaking his mind and being honest about Matt Ryan and him being 100% right about that shit. Right about that, because he looked like shit last night. Absolutely. Man, I appreciate Jalen Ramsey because, you know, the thing that we have is everybody complains that all these athletes, all they do is say the same thing over and over and over again. And then when the athletes speak their mind, when they say what's really truly on their mind, they get mad. Oh, he said this about somebody I like, and he shouldn't have said it. He should be quiet. And then when it comes to fruition, then, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to Chan. Said, what's up, Honcho? Said, I'd like to see how the offensive line holds up. That's another thing I want to talk about, too, because what you have is you still have everybody talking about, oh, this is the worst offensive line in the NFL. This is not the same offensive line as last year. You have significant changes in the tackle spots. You have significant changes in the interior. I mean, this is a completely different set of guys. Martin's the only guy that you got back that is the same from last year. And so for the fact that people just seem to be relying on last year's stats and last year's status, it bothers the fuck out of me. Let's see what these guys are capable of. They were decent in the preseason, but again, it's the preseason. You know, you're not seeing a lot of complicated looks. You're not seeing a lot of schemes. You're seeing a lot of vanilla shit. I think that you got to take it. You got to take it for what it is at this point in time. Now, if they come out and they play well against the Patriots, then give them credit for being a solid line. We'll see how they transition throughout the year. Eastside Hero says, appreciate the sauce. Love. Saying, what's up with Clowney? Clowney should be good to go. He said he's 100%. He's been saying that he's been good to go. He said that it's the Texans that have been keeping him on the limited workload, kind of working him back in slowly, but he's been saying that he's been ready. Probably not getting paid this year, so we'll see what happens after that. But I think that's a good thing. I think that Clowney not getting paid, of course I want to see my man get paid because, again, he gets paid, stays in Houston, and then I'm going to reap all the benefits I can from trying to do my doppelganger shit as much as I can. But I got to tighten up because I'm not tighten up in that sense. But T-I-G-H, not T-I-T-A-N. But so I can try to get all my doppelganger benefits. But my thing is, God damn it. Come on, you fucking show. But come on. Because you're getting on my nerves. Anyway, so, you know, because I want to try to thrive and get everything I can get off of Clowney staying in Houston so I can try to get all the free beer at the bar that I can pull off. Yeah, he was over here being a little asshole trying to get some attention. So There you go. There you go, Scotty. You happy? You getting you some shine? Now get out of my face. But like I say, but I think he's going to be good to go. But the benefit of him not getting paid is, again, he's going to go out and he's going to basically be promoting himself for the entire league. So even if he is a Texan next year or he isn't, he's going to play hard this year. He's going to give everything he has because he feels like he has something to prove. And so in that sense, I like it. In that sense, I think it's a benefit because with the way the Texans have kind of worked things with that salary cap, honestly, you're going to have some guys you're going to have to pay next year. Hopefully being able to retain the services of the Honey Badger. But I feel like, we'll have enough change to maintain what we have and still be able to maybe pick up another solid piece and be able to pay Clowney. So that's why I'm not tripping as much about this year, not spending all this money in free agency. A lot of people want us to just go broke in free agency this year and then not thinking about the fact that, okay, well, we still got to have money to pay these guys, especially with guys like Mack and Donald in the $20 million range. Now you're going to have to expect Clowney to want something close to that, and then you still have a lot of other things to maintain. So you can't have the best of both worlds. You can't be mad about us not spending money and then still want us to have all the other things that are going to be available next year. So I'm not mad at Brian Gaine about that. Speaking about Brian Gaine, period, just kind of my thoughts. Like I say, we haven't seen what he's done pan out quite yet. Scotty, shut up. You're talking too much, Scotty. We haven't seen what he's done pan out yet. And I'm going to be honest. I was kind of middle of the pack on what he did. But right now, I'm kind of leaning more to the positive side. Because right now, it's looking like Akins has panned out. It's looking like, or Akins will pan out. Let's not say he has yet. He hasn't arrived. But from what we've seen from him, in the preseason, he looked pretty good. Jordan Thomas, have heard good things. Would like to see a little bit more on the field. Reed, a solid pickup. And again, we could say, these were guys that were picked with Rick Smith intel. Again, the picks had to be made. And then you go back again, like I say, you look in the off season, and some of these guys that are in other places. We've seen guys that we were interested in, are out with injury or unavailable or have had issues. We know where they've gone. Right now, if I had a little meter, I'd be leaning just slightly into the positive. Now, it could quickly go back the other way if other things do happen, but I think that I am okay with it. You know what I mean? I look like a Doberman. That sounds racist, Jay. You've been watching Snoop Dogg videos and shit. Let's see. But what is the point of having a fullback, fuck nigga, if you're not really utilizing him that much? If he's only seeing a small percentage of snaps, why waste that roster spot for a guy who can contribute more to this offense? So there's that. Man, see, here's my thing. Look, Scotty is that's my little dog. You know what I'm saying? That's my partner. You know what I'm talking about? I don't need a big dog. I don't need no dog for no damn protection. Big dogs eat too goddamn much. I just need somebody, you know what I'm saying, when I need to rough up and kick around every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Big dog, you kicking might hurt your foot and shit. Make him do the Scotty dance. Wow, give the dog Prozac. Man, I agree with you too, man. We're in a position, we have a quarterback too who is willing to mash the gas. I would like to see more stepping on the throat of our opponents as opposed to just playing to win. That's something that always bothered me since the Kubiak regime. Scotty, move, man. Look, you can't call the Sauceline, dude. Just move. Okay. Give me 1 second. Make sure everything is copacetic. Okay. All right, cool. So like I say, what we're going to do is open up the Sauceline a little bit early. Like I say, it's Fuck 'em Friday. I want to know what's on your mind. All right, Baylor. Unless y'all have just been having a great week and y'all just, everything's so lovely, y'all don't have nothing to say fuck 'em to. But that is something I would like to see. I would like to, fuck all the respect of your peers in the league. Fuck all that, just playing to win. Because that shit, how many times did that used to come back and bite us in the ass with Kubiak? Oh, well, we want to be respected. We just want to play to win just to secure the victory and then end up losing, later on. So I think that is a problem that I have with that. Scotty, what are you, dude? You can't have no fucking chocolate milk. It's only like a cap full of chocolate. Look, you gonna get out if you ain't gonna act right. Again, like I said, I want to see a new attitude with this team. And so that's why I'm hoping that this new BOB that I'm hearing and reporting about, but again, these are the same people reporting this who reported that, you know, Kendall Lamb was good. And the fact that Kendall Lamb is still on this team is something that bothers me. Look, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Scotty, you gonna take the calls here. I'm gonna put these on you. You take the calls on the sauce line. All right. You listen in for the calls. No, like this shit. But you're a horrible producer, Scotty. So again, man. Oh man, look, if the Texans, I wouldn't even want to do that to Heidi. That would be bad. I wouldn't want anybody to. I don't want fabric being made to waste on a Lamb jersey. The fact that you have to do that. Well, I'm sure Scotty's been through worse. Scotty's been through a whole lot of shenanigans, and so get out, because you get up on there, little fat dog. Scram. Go. All right. That's from the University of Science. Oh, I need the white paper on that. But here's the deal. All right, we'll open up the sauce line, so you guys can call in. You know, you can spill your sauce. And I just kind of want to know what you guys feel. I mean, how are you guys with the injury reports that have come out? That, you know, there's a couple of guys that are injured. And I can't remember, was Coates on the injury or that he's likely to play? Like I said, I can't remember. I caught most of it earlier, and then I've been kind of taking care of some things before then, and I really just barely got back in right before the sauce got started, so I didn't get a chance to take some notes on some things that I meant to speak on. But, you know, if Coates is available, Hopkins is available, Vincent Smith, relatively unknown, and so I don't know what he's going to contribute, but the speed is a factor. Speed kills, and I mean, if Fuller's not going to be available to be that speedy threat, then hey, you know, then shit, we got to have some type of somebody on the field to stretch it. But again, I'm not as confident in his hands because I'm not as confident in his work ethic, period, because there was a play in the preseason where Webb had that interception. He kind of just gave up on the play and didn't even really try to go stop old buddy from returning it. So there's that. All right. Joshua, what's the motherfucking deal? What kind of sauce you want to spill on the sauce line this evening?
Yeah, I was just wondering. I was like, man, the Patriots been saying how they wants to double and sometimes bracket, even as crazy as triple team Hopkins to make sure he don't have a big day. So I was just want to ask, like, do you believe that our slot guys are going to show up this game? Because I believe that's going to be the difference. And pretty much because I have Hopkins and Sean Watson on my fantasy team, so I'm not worried about the game. Like, I know we probably going to win, but I just want to know your opinion on that.
Okay. Appreciate you calling. I'll definitely give you my thoughts on that one, John. But I think, like I say, I have to recollect and see who exactly was hurt and who wasn't. If Kiki's available and Kiki is what they say he is, I think that we will eat. I think that we'll be okay. Ellington, I believe, should hopefully be available. If Ellington is available, then what's the motherfucking deal, John? Don't make mo. Always good to see you. So Hopkins, Ellington, and Smith are supposed to be. Coach has the hammy issue. So much for that goddamn strength and conditioning coordinator. I mean, shit, Ellington, we Gucci with Ellington. I have no concern. Ellington is going to eat. Ellington thrived last year, and he should thrive again this year. So I have no worries about that, man. You know, so I think that's what's up, James Hart? My fault, man. Look, I apologize. You know, I be doing you bad sometimes. So hold on. But yeah, man, as far as the slot guys should eat, I think overall we shouldn't have any too many concerns. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
Man, it's your boy Swisher, man. What's going down?
What's the motherfucking deal? This that boy Double D, a.k.a. Swisher. What's good, man?
I just got a question, man. If Will Fuller don't play, how will that affect our play calling? And do you guys see Jordan Thomas, that other tight end? I think he might be a good option that Watson might want to, just keep hitting, you know what I'm saying? If they are going to play a corner underneath with a safety over the top with Hopkins.
Okay. I definitely agree. Like I say, because I've seen Akins, I've seen Thomas, I've seen them both show that they possess hands. Like, and so I'm not worried about. Like I say, as far as I don't think it's going to be a problem with pass catchers. I'm not necessarily worried about that offense at all because I'm not, Patriots defense, they're a capable defense, but they're not going to come in and shut anybody out. Like we saw that before when we had limited options. The time we played them last year, we didn't have all the pieces necessary. We still were able to go at it with them. I mean, you saw Griffin eating. So if Griffin can eat, I'm not worried about the other guys eating. My deal is more so, my main concern is that defense being able to put pressure on Tom Brady. That's my main concern. I'm honestly not worried. Even if they take Hopkins out the game, I'm not worried about it because I feel like we have enough valid options that the ball will get spread around and that everybody will eat. That we'll be able to get in the end zone. But the thing about that is, my man, Switch. I'm gonna hang up on you real quick, but I appreciate you calling in. But my thing with that is this. The Texans have to do a couple of things, man. The Patriots, what makes the Patriots so good is not even just necessarily that they're just so much more talented than everybody. It's that they're so much more they're better coached because the Patriots don't make those mistakes that end up hurting most teams. And the Texans, last year, we had a lot of penalty calls. I want to say, in the preseason, we kind of reduced. But again, it's the preseason. It's not something you want to hang your hat on. But here's the thing that's why I say last night's game showed me a couple of things that have me concerned about what's coming up on Sunday, especially with having aggressive players on defense. And what I'm saying with that is you saw a roughing the passer call on what we would normally see as a normal tackle any other time. Hold on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the Sauceline this evening?
What's up, man? It's Toxic City Tenny.
Already. Tenny, what's the motherfucking deal? What kind of sauce you want to splash on the line this evening?
Man, I just want to splash on the line, man. Y'all saw that Wes Kayvon is injured, and he ain't going to be playing this Sunday. I just want to give the chat a reassurance. My best friend, Mr. Tony, a.k.a. Andre Sassery, will be making his appearance soon in this season. Y'all keep an eye out because he is the hero we wanted. He's not the hero we deserved.
Already. I definitely agree with you. Tony Sassery, he's going to sprinkle a little seasoning on the field sooner than later. And I'm really looking forward to that guy having a chance to get on the field, man. Really having a chance to
Absolutely, man. Let's get fired up, y'all. It's Friday. Saturday tomorrow. We about to be whooping that Patriot ass on Sunday. Let's get it going, guys.
That's what I'm talking about, Titty, man. Hey, if y'all ain't checked out Titty's latest video, man, hit the links in the description below. You know what I'm saying? And you can check the whole round table because, like I say, everybody's links are down there below. But, man, Tinny, I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to take this next call, man.
Yes, sir.
Already. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
What's up, man? Let's say it again. I'm back.
Already. What kind of sauce you trying to splash?
I just want everybody to just come in and stop all that. I just want everybody to stop feeling out sad, being scared. It's over for the Patriots.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That pass rush game after them. The back end is good. The offensive line okay.
I agree.
I just want to know what you think about that.
All right, that's the BET, man. I definitely got you. I'm going to let you know I'm hang up on you, but I appreciate you calling in. I bet that. But that's what I'm saying, man. Like, let's realign our thinking for just a second, okay? Because I see folks seeming like they're getting down. One, of course, we like the Fuller and Watson connection. It's cool. It's good. It feels good. We like to see those dynamic plays. But outside of that, it's the first game of the season for the Houston Texans. You got to be excited that football has come back. I mean, yeah, Thursday night, whatever, who gives a fuck? We're talking about it's football season. And y'all are sounding like y'all down. Y'all sounding like y'all upset already. We ain't even played the game. Are y'all so negatively affected by last year's record that y'all just continue? This is a new season. Cut all those old ties off, man. That shit is over with. This is a brand new season, man. So, I mean, look at it like this, okay? We all talking about, we're missing such and such. We're missing so-and-so. Oh, this guy's out. So what happens when we go in there and we throttle the fuck out the Patriots with all those pieces missing. Then what kind of shit do you get to talk? You know, well, there are no excuses for the Patriots then. You know, okay, even if we come in there with missing some of the talent that we have, but we go in there with the talent, without the talent, with all the players fully healthy or not, and we come out of there with a W. That's all that fucking counts. But my thing, what I was saying, though, that bothers me about last night as compared to what could happen Sunday is when we have such aggressive players on defense, and we got aggressive dogs over here continuing to fuck with my socks. We have such aggressive players on defense. Hold on one second, Scotty. What is up with you, man? What do you want, man? Go away. We saw some bullshit-ass calls yesterday. Things that would be normal tackles, normal plays, became roughing the passers. We've seen it throughout the preseason that these referees don't seem to know what calls to make on certain plays. We saw all kind of bullshit-ass shenanigans last night. It was a catch. This wasn't a catch. You know, these are the things that concern me more. So, again, like I say, with having an aggressive defense who can actually put pressure on Brady being the NFL's golden boy, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. And it's not only just the new rules, it's the new refs. It's a lot of old school refs who've been holding it down for decades have retired, and in the NBA too. And now you have some new faces in there. And I think you got a lot of guys that are nervous, that don't really know what they're doing. They're still kind of getting acclimated. And that's my biggest concern is the Texans making a great play. And then all of a sudden late in the play, here comes a yellow flag and somebody saying that, you know, this is a penalty or that is a penalty. That's my primary concern. That's what I'm more so worried about than anything else. Okay, and God damn it, Scotty, look, you get on my damn nerves. Y'all give me uno momento. Give me like 30 seconds, and we'll continue this, and we'll take some more calls. Give me just a moment. All right, I apologize for that, but we are back. I just had to murder Scotty real quickly just so he could leave us alone. So, yeah, I just had to off him. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing him. That'll be the last time you ever see him again. I'm just fucking with y'all. I just kicked him a couple of times. No, but again, so that's my biggest concern, man, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I've just been talking to random people, and you know, some folks in Sauce Nation, just sometimes people I meet and see on the street. I like to spark up random conversations with people. I don't know why. I used to never do that, but I do now. If I see somebody wearing a Texans cap or a Rockets or something, any kind of feel, I'll just have random conversation with people. I just kind of ask people's input, you know, their thoughts on the flags or the penalties, things like that. I mean, the game as a whole, but I see a lot of people. Scotty bark if you did. Yeah, Scotty would bark no matter what. He doesn't ever bark, but what? That's what I like to hear, Ray, goddamn. But I talk to just random people. I just speak to people about certain things, man. And I see that this is something that people are becoming more and more irritated by. And these fucking flags, I mean, stuff that we would see as normal plays, you know, some bang plays, things that were just, you know, okay, on to the next one. Now flags, penalties, and just it's stupid. It slows the game down. It favors the offense highly. And again, so what's almost the point of having a good defense? What's the point of spending all this money on the defense if, again, you know, everything's favoring the offense? A lot of these plays are getting negated they talked about the roughing the passer last night because he hit him and took him to the ground. It wasn't like he smashed on him. It wasn't like he picked him up and drove him into the ground. Not like he pile drived him or anything like that. He landed on him, got up promptly, because they say that they want you now to hit the quarterback and be rolling off of him before he hits the ground. Like, what kind of extra shit do they expect defensive players to do in today's NFL? Like, they defy gravity. I mean, it's just some new shit. Like, I don't understand, and it bothers me. And that's what I feel like it will come down to a couple of plays like that. And I don't think just this game, but I think throughout the season, there's going to be situations like that are going to hurt the Texans, that are going to revive drives that when we have, it'll be a 3rd and long or something of the sort, and it'll be a great play made on the quarterback. And next thing you know, instead of it being a sack, it becomes a roughing the pass, or it becomes some type of bullshit penalty. And instead of the ref saying, hey, you know what, we made a mistake and recalling the flag, they'll just stick to it because they have pride. They don't want to look like they're wrong. They want to, quote unquote, be professionals. I mean, it bothers me, man. It bothers me. And I'll tell you, like, honestly, and I mean honestly, just depending on how this season goes, like, I'm telling you, I'm very borderline with the NFL right now. You know, that fucking bothers the fuck out of me. It really does. And I mean, if that's the way the game is going to go, man, you know, shit, fuck everything else. I mean, I may really lose interest in this shit. So, exactly, Ray. What Ray got to say. So, man, look, you let me know with you back in action, so we can definitely put that on the map, man, because I'm definitely looking forward to some of that deep dive and intel, some of that proper Ray analysis, even though you're a Ray racist, because you say I look like Charlie Murphy, but I still got love for you, Ray. It's always good to see you. El Lobo, what's the motherfucking deal? God damn it, you tell me. Speaking of you tell me, I heard he's got a little injury going on, so we'll see how that plans out. I got you. That's a BET. I got you, Ray. But yeah, and I think what's happening, man, is that the NFL is slowly killing itself. Instead of, I think the problem with the NFL is this, is we keep recycling these guys through the NFL. We assume they have experience. We can't get these guys out of so-and-so's coaching tree. Everybody wants something from the Patriots coaching tree, and that shit hardly ever pans out. And they're afraid to give new people a chance. Got a call coming in. What's the motherfucking deal, Chandler? What kind of sauce you want to splash on the line tonight?
I just want here's the thing. The NFL is just trying to, play safe with these, I mean, I understand the low tackling and stuff. I mean, Roger, Goodell is the worst NFL commissioner in this league. I think that he should just resign and be fired. And I know that's not going to happen, but he should be fired because he is ruining. He's ruining the game of football for the fans and for the sport. And I got another question for you: is that if John Watson goes into New England Foxborough and Gillette Stadium to beat Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, could you consider him as a GOAT for being Tom Brady? And I just wanted to ask you that question. So thank you. So bye.
I appreciate you calling in, Chandler, man. You know Chandler always holding down the Sauceline. Shout out to Chandler, man. I appreciate your call. Man, I agree with you on the Goodell thing, man. And of course the NFL is a business, even though it's a non-profit organization that just makes shit tons of money hand over fist, but whatever. I'm never against the business. I'm not against capitalism. Hey, you get it how you live, but I'm all about a good product. And I feel like the NFL product is even with all these rules. I mean, I don't know if they're trying to figure out a way to minimize injuries or whatever it is. We saw a lot of key injuries last year, and it kind of made it a shitty season all across the board. I mean, you had guys like the Bills getting in, you had guys like the Jags thriving from whatever little nuances helped them. I don't know if he calls himself trying to make it. They use that guise of player safety, even though that's never the case. I think that he's not doing a favor to the sport of football. But the fact that they're making record amount of money, they're making more and more money than ever, I'm sure a lot of the owners aren't tripping. But then you do hear a lot of owners who complain. You've heard a lot of guys complain about Goodell and, some of his tactics and some of the things that he does. I, as a fan, I don't care for what he's done. I don't care for how the NFL is moving on a lot of these issues. One of those things being, like I say, hey, look, it's a lot of money to be made. Instead of trying to do all this shit and protect them from themselves, hey, look, here's the research that we have. Here's all the concussion information that we have. Here's your contract. Now, you can make such and such amount of money, or you can not play and go do something else. Given those opportunities, I think more than these guys will be more than happy to sign contracts for that amount of money. Austin Tucker, what's the motherfucking deal? What kind of sauce you want to splash on the line this evening?
Hey, what up, man? Your boy Tuck. Happy fucking Friday, y'all.
Yes, sir.
I'm fucking pumped for Sunday, getting ready to get down, barbecue the shit up. But my biggest concern, besides the defense, obviously, was our inability to possibly run the ball and suck the clock from Tom Brady. Putting those numbers up as he usually does against us, regardless of how good or bad our defense is that year. And who's going to be taking over for Miller if he can't get shit going? That's my second biggest question. Fuck everything else. I mean, I was like debating on, picking up Mr. Foreman in fantasy, but then he obviously went on QUP. So I was like, nah, I don't see Alfred Blue, really, putting the game in his hands, if we're up, 14 points or whatnot. So what do you guys think in terms of our, ability to run the ball on this team and, get the win that way if our defense is, not doing its job?
Okay, good point, man. I appreciate you calling in, Tuck, and I'll definitely get on that. And happy Friday to you.
Hey, no problem, y'all.
Already. Shout out to Tucker holding it down. Man, that's a good question, man. I'm gonna answer the question though that Chandler had about going in and winning in Foxborough. Now, I don't automatically give Deshaun GOAT status for that because, there's been guys who've gone in Foxborough and won, and it happens. And then, everybody acts like the world is falling down for the Patriots. I think this is right now is just the time we take to take advantage of it because I feel like more things are in our favor, even if we do have a couple of pieces out and unavailable. But I still feel like it's going to come down to coaching. But then that falls into the conversation that Tucker brought up. If Miller can't get things going, what is the key? I don't have faith in Blue either, but Blue does bring a change of pace, and we know that B.O.B. for some reason loves to try to power up the middle, where that's just not the kind of scheme that we are able to execute. Even though I do like our interior line a lot better this year than what we had last year, I think that's where Blue comes in because Blue is the type of guy that it takes him a little bit to get going, but he'll wear you down. But you may have to run him a significant number of times, and I don't want to see Blue getting that many snaps. So I'm hoping that he has kind of adapted and can utilize Lamar Miller and Lamar Miller's pass-catching abilities because he's an excellent pass catcher. I think that's an underrated fact about Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller can catch the ball out of the backfield. We saw Lamar and Watson have a great connection throughout, the short time that Watson was there. So I hope that he can kind of leverage situations like that more so. And run Lamar to the outside. I mean, it's night and day. Lamar inside is Lamar outside. It's night and day. And so I think that, you're going to have to find a way to mix it up. But again, I like the young guy that they got, the new guy they had picked up from Miami, Buddy Howell. But again, I don't think that he's just had enough time here to kind of to understand everything that's going on. So I think it would be a little bit, and it would kind of be a desperation move to go ahead and put him in. I think that's an injury situation or something like that. But I think in the long term, keep an eye on that kid because I think he's going to be nice before it's all said and done. I like what he does. He also can catch out the backfield. So he's somebody you're going to definitely want to pay attention to. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Make sure y'all like that screen. Hit that like button. It ain't going to hurt. Man, I kind of want to know how y'all think too. We briefly touched on. We actually didn't get a chance to touch on it that much. I think we talked more about it before we got on the stream. But the Le'Veon Bell situation. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say he's going to get traded to the Texans and all that stuff. Now, would I entertain it? Maybe. You'd have to get some type of guarantee from Le'Veon that he would sign a long-term deal. But again, that's when you start talking about Le'Veon money. You start talking about Clowney money. You start talking about Honey Badger money. You start talking about some of these other guys that are coming up. Is it worth it? What type of value? Because that's my thing is, what do you have already, and how much more value do you get out of it? Now you say, well, you got Le'Veon over Miller. Okay, I can see that. But then what happens with Deontay Foreman? Everybody's saying, he's going to be your back of the future. I mean, do you just say fuck him, or you keep that 1-2 punch? I mean, it's a lot of other little things that you gotta have to think about. Now, I'm not saying that Deontay Foreman is going to be Le'Veon. I know a lot of people try to compare Deontay's skill set to Arian Foster. Now, it's not the same running style, but you're talking about the athleticism that he possesses and the versatility that he has. I don't know. Like I say, but what Le'Veon brings for what he's going to want and what you're already spending, I think you got to look at how much more of a value is it. Kenneth from Honduras, what's the motherfucking deal?
What's poppin', y'all?
What's good?
No, but I want to say shout out to everyone that showed up to the stream today. But I got one question. I don't know if anyone brought this up yesterday because I wasn't in the stream yesterday or the day before. But I wanted to say, what do you make of Le'Veon Bell's teammates calling his ass out and basically calling him a hoe or, hold it out and shit like that? Me personally, I don't like, why are you worried about another man's pocket? Like, the whole O-line said he make more than we do and we do it from. I find that shit to be some bitch shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Why are you trying to compare your pockets to that other man's pockets? That shit dead to me, bro. I want to know your thoughts about that.
All right, good deal. Kenneth, man, I got a question, though. I got a question for you, Kenneth, before you go.
You said what?
I said I have a question for you, Kenneth, before you go.
Look.
How many backpacks did you carry today?
0, bitch.
I appreciate you calling in, Kenneth, man. I'm fucking with you, man. I appreciate the call, but I definitely get on that one. That's a very good question, man.
All right, gotcha.
Already. Shout out to Kenneth, man. He working on it, you know what I'm saying? He been slowly working his way. They probably started off with 5 in the beginning of the week and worked his way to 4, 3, maybe the normal backpack that he carried didn't show up today. Now I'm fucking with Kenneth. But, man, I definitely agree, man, 100%. When it comes down to it, if you got a problem with that shit, man, you don't put that shit in the media. But this is the new day and age that we live in. Everything, we release everything to the media instead of handling the shit in-house like we should. You know what I'm saying? You say, I got to get that comment, too, that you made there, Lobo, too. You had a couple of good points I wanted to address, too. I'm going to make sure I get on those. I think some whole shit, too, man. It doesn't matter. You don't have a problem with the money that a motherfucker's making when you block it for them. Whenever they're doing what you want them to do, you don't have no issue with that. But obviously, that kind of tells me that you do, in a sense, that you feeling like, whether he's there or not, you feel like you doing all the work, but he's getting paid all the money. To me, that's kind of a scandalous approach. Again, you're not getting in the end zone. You're opening up holes for him, of course. Some of y'all are getting to the second level, but the fact that you crying about, and here's something else that it tells me too. When old buddy, who was it? Pouncey, I think was the one saying it, that he's making 7 times more than me and twice as much as Villanueva. So that lets me know that you having conversations with Villanueva. So it's letting me know that all of y'all are sitting here talking about this man, not just you. It's just not your thoughts alone. This is the fact that you brought up this man's name, showing me that, okay, well, I didn't talk to him about it. Yeah, he's making 2 times as much as me. So y'all are in this whole conversation. Y'all are congregating and talking about what this man's got going on, knowing how volatile the game of football is. And this is why I say, this is why the NFL, the CBA, the players union, this is why this shit will never thrive. They will never see money like the NBA players, because they don't know how to come together and unify, because they're mad because these dudes getting so much more money because of this dude getting so much more money because of that. And again, you know what position you play. You kind of know what the market rate is for you, for your services. Yeah, and you kind of got to roll with that. You can't be mad about what the next man is making. You either want him on the team or you don't. Point blank, period. You should keep his money out of your conversation. I believe it was Wise was reminded that he went and bought, didn't Le'Veon buy this whole team, buy all the linemen Rolexes, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? I think that's some whole ass shit. And I saw Le'Veon comment under the shit. He put like "whoa" or something under one of those things where old buddy was talking crazy. To me, it's crazy, man. Like I say, you have to leave that shit in house. If that's a problem that you have, I'm sure you got that man's phone number. I'm sure that you can have a conversation. You know, fuck with the media saying, because y'all listening to the media saying, oh, he's gonna be back then or he's gonna be back at this time. If that man came out and said he never said those things, then y'all are just hoping and anticipating. That's on y'all, man. Don't be mad at him. Shit, he's not the one putting out the checks. You gonna be mad at the ownership. They got the money. They have the ability to. You see how running backs get used up in this league. Look at who was it? Murray. When Murray was balling for a little bit, you know, and he was leading the league, and then, you know, basically got thrown away not too long after that. Man, fuck Chris Carter, dog. Chris Carter's a fucking mark. Chris Carter is a mark, dog. I fucking hate Chris Carter and his thoughts and opinions and everything, because Chris Carter's one of those dudes that Chris Carter was a fuck up himself, you know, and he acts like every move he ever made was just golden, you know. He's old Mr. Me Too ass dude. You know, I remember when they were talking about Hopkins, when Nick Wright was talking about all of the litany of quarterbacks that Hopkins played with. He's like, yeah, I played with a bunch of bad quarterbacks in my career too, you know, and so I can understand, I can relate. You didn't play with the motherfucker. No, you didn't play with motherfuckers on the caliber of what Hopkins did. Like, Chris Carter always tries to insert himself in the fucking conversation. Like he did everything, any and everything in the fucking world. Like, I hate that fucking dude. Like, I don't hate him because I don't hate anybody, but I despise that dude. And I despise his takes because he's a hater, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? It bothers me because, I mean, shit, you had a drug problem too. You had an issue too. And then that's the first thing. Well, this man had, you know, he already had the 2 drug things. And, you know, this, like, instead of reaching out to these dudes and offering services, you know, be a OG, be somebody who, you know, hey man, look, I went through this and I want to see you shine. I want to see your career thrive. And, you know, hey man, this is my advice. This is what I would do if I were in your shoes. Instead, it's always that, you know, what you do, you just this smug ass, you know, type shit. Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Chris Carter like hate on Michael Irvin to his wife or some shit like that? Like don't some old bitch shit. Like, if y'all are supposed to be men and y'all have certain issues that are going on, like, this is something for you to discuss as men. But instead, you on this bitch shit. Like, that's why I could never respect Chris Carter. Like, I don't care how good he was. I don't care about any of that shit. Like, he'll forever be a mark in my book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't respect him on any platform. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I tell people, you know, hey, appreciate people for what they're good at. You know, if you're an athlete, appreciate them for being athletes. Don't think they just cool just because they're athletes. If it's somebody's an entertainer, they're a good actor, appreciate them for being an actor, because you don't know what type of people these people are behind the scenes, you know, outside of their realm. You know, a lot of these people are whack as fuck. A lot of these people, you know, they hone their skills in one area and they're good at that one area. But a lot of these entertainers, actors, rappers, you know, singers, whatever it may be, they're good on the stage that they belong on. Outside of that, you probably truly honestly don't want to meet half these motherfuckers. You probably don't even want to know half these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? People are sketchy, honestly. And I just can't stand that dude, man. So fuck Chris Carter and all his opinions, man. You said try to call a nigga right here lame, so it's better without him. That's what I'm saying, man. It's just he's a snake ass dude, man. You say he tried to push it on the road. But that's what I'm saying, man. The thing is, again, as a teammate, that weakens your bonds as a team. That weakens that like, so if he did come back, there ain't no trust there. I mean, how do you know that these motherfuckers gonna block for him now? Because they mad about some shit. You've heard of I forgot what they call it. You know, when a quarterback does some shit and the old lineman don't like it, they'll let a lineman through, let his ass get smashed. You know, what's to say that they won't do the same shit now? That you see that they're truly envious about some money. Again, him signing that contract don't improve your checks. Like, to me, that shit is snake shit, man. Like, I'm just telling you, man, it bothers me. You know, again, like counting another man's pocketbooks, you know, the shit like that, all that type of shit bothers me. You know, if you got an issue with somebody, I feel like you address it with them, you know, and straight up and down. You don't go running around doing this, that, and the third, whispering behind people back, running to the media, doing that type of shit. If you have a problem with somebody, if I got a problem with you, I'm gonna holler at you directly. Hey, man, look, pull you to the side or call you up on the phone if I got your phone. Hey, you know, hey, look, man, we got a little issue we need to talk about. All this, well, you know, such and such, man, that's snake shit, dog. That shit is foul to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with that. I'm not with that shit at all. I'm a good doggy. Oh man, look, no, I ain't even finna talk about that. It made me think about that fucking cartoon on Netflix. But there's my thing, man. It is. Oh, we got a couple of texts here. Let me make sure to address these couple of texts here. And I saw you 335 talking about the know your text. I had to do some planning. Let me read this shit first, and then get into it. Said never had an offense to go with the defense. Shout out to Cedric. Yeah, and I agree with that, man. I agree with that. Like once we get everything clicking again, like I say, my biggest concern, this defense should thrive. We have better safety play. I'm saying you replace Corey Moore with the Honey Badger, or with Reed, or with even Kareem in that situation that he was in last year, ball in the hands. You're talking about game over. We're talking about a completely different game. So we can put a lot of shit on Bill O'Brien, but I think there's a lot of things you could place on that defense. You could place on Mike Vrabel again with that whole situation. But again, hey, it comes down to the head coach. Ultimately, you are the decision maker. So if you get the credit, you get the blame. But it has to go both ways. So if you're going to blame the man, you got to get the man credit. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to give him credit, then you can't give him the blame. So it works both ways. But with Cornell at the helm, I think that guy's going to be in a much better position to make plays. With Brady and having limited weapons, I think we'll be able to capitalize on that. And he was on Akeem Hunt. Man, I haven't heard any updates on Akeem Hunt. Like I said, outside of them working him out, I haven't heard any updates on that. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But the Know Your Texans thing, what I'm going to do with the Know Your Texans thing is I'm going to take this call from Ken. What's the motherfucking deal, Ken? What kind of sauce you want to splash on the line?
Yeah, man, I just kind of wanted to add something else to that point that I forgot to say that, what's the name, on that same thing, on that same segment, Chris Carter tries to say what Le'Veon has shown his team is that he's the selfish player, and then he also on his own self said, Le'Veon, what he's shown everyone is that he's selfish. Like, that shit killed me, but I had to cut that same video off the second he said that bullshit, but just kind of wanted to throw that in there.
Already. That's a bet. I spill on that, man. Here's the deal, too. Appreciate you calling. Here's the deal, too. A lot of these old players, man, are envious of the current players and the money that they're getting because they weren't seeing checks like that, because they weren't seeing money like that. So a lot of these old, back in my day, we wouldn't even, hey, man, it's a new day and age. You know what I'm saying? It's these guys are handling themselves, even though the NFL is probably the worst at it. These players are recognizing the money that's being made, and they're trying to go after their fair share of it. So it's not their fault that y'all didn't capitalize when y'all had the opportunity. And if y'all may have capitalized more so when y'all had the opportunity, guys would be in a better position now. So this is why I say, man, you got to think about a lot. There's a lot of layers. Just because a guy's on TV talking don't mean he know everything I'm talking about. Shit, I be out here, I don't know everything I be fucking talking about. Sometimes I be saying something and y'all be like, no, well, such and such said this, or the facts came out with this, and okay, hey, I'm wrong. Yeah, give me a crow feather. It is what it is. I have no problem with that. But what you have with a lot of these guys here, especially former players, they're envious. We seen Hall when he went on there and he was talking about Hopkins. He tried to skew the narrative, and what had happened was I slipped out my shoe, and then so it took you 3 years to talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? But now that you got a little platform, now you want to try to cast your light to everybody. Why didn't you come out and say nothing about what had happened? You had that same opportunity. You was talking shit about any and everything else because you was embarrassed, because you knew what happened. You had to find a way to get that skewed and turn it to your benefit. A lot of these old players are jealous, envious. You could look at Michael Jordan. Even he's considered the greatest of all time. With LeBron coming quite close. Some people saying LeBron has surpassed him. It just depends on what club you're in with that. But Jordan is still envious of a lot. If I was still playing right now, I'd whoop some of these young guys' ass. If I was still playing, I'd do this and do that. Because they missed the game. They can't accept the fact that, hey, Father Time wins off. Father Time got all the championship. Father Time beat everybody, And so a lot of these guys are envious that they can't still play. A lot of these guys are envious about the money that guys are making and just situations, endorsements, and benefits, all kind of things that are going on that these guys are thriving off of. And all they really know how to go do is go work for a network. They can't kind of build into their own brand. They're not able to go and take advantage, build their own fucking little platform, build their own little podcast or whatever else it may be. They just know how to go run to the network, spill a bunch of salt, and they're content with that. So, it is what it is. But the Know Your Texans thing, this is what I'm going to do with the Know Your Texans. I'm going to make the Know Your Texans. Thank you, Phoenix. I do look like a brand. Hey. Speaking of that, I'm glad you mentioned that. Make sure, up until Sunday, shout out to Phoenix for reminding me, that well, Sunday, so probably that Monday actually I'll be going to get them printed up and sent out. But if you want to get the first run of the Sauce Sports shirts, especially to go with those of you who have the limited edition mugs, make sure you get your matching shirt. And everyone who I had talked to earlier in the summer, I will have you taken care of and ready to go. But I'll be taking care so you can order up until Sunday, the post-game show. Just send $25 to paypal.me/saucesports, and we're not going to do those through Teespring or anything like that. We'll probably do this once for the beginning of the season, and then maybe do another one of these again at the bye week. So I only plan on doing these shirts twice during this season. So if you want to get some of those, make sure you send, like I say, $25 to PayPal. But man, look, when you send it to the PayPal, there's a box that has info on there. Make sure you put your name and address in the info so I can make sure to get you that. So like I say, we'll stop taking pre-orders for those Sunday, and we'll be getting those out next week. So make sure that you get you one of those. Okay, hold up. My fault, hold up. I got the shirt covered up to Saucy Love, man. Let's bring that back. I see Wink to show some love. Let me bring that back from the bottom of the map real quick. But again, if you want to get one of those shirts, man, paypal.me/saucesports. Hold on one second. I got to pull up the wrong thing. I want to make sure that gets heard. But again, but what I was saying again, like those old players, man, a lot of haters. The Know Your Texans, instead of cramming it all in, the Know Your Texans is because I'm trying to find some organization and some sensibility in my life, some structure and all that other good shit. It's going to be a weekly thing. Beginning of the week, throughout the season, each week, I'm going to focus on a position group because honestly, as I was going through it, I had a shout out 335. I know you seen my blooper reel in the Kush Den, but I want to bring better quality videos, and that's been part of my thing. Like I'm not going to rush through these kind of how they were last year. It's going to be a better overall look. And so instead of trying to rush all these out before the game, each Monday, we're going to drop a Know Your Texans, and that way I'll be able to kind of go a little bit more in depth instead of just rushing out a bunch of fucking videos. Because like I said, there's certain aspects of the sauce that have to improve that I want to be better. So I was on the brink of doing that, but we're going to make sure those are better quality. Certain things just have to be improved. Let me bring this up real quick so I get some of that super saucy love that Wink just showed us. Right here. But again, man, let's see. Everybody say James Harrison on TV. Yeah, James Harrison, man, look, that's a dangerous dude, man. That dude, look, hey, that man was a beast for a long time for a reason. It's that boy got a monster mentality. I'd have to keep a pocket knife or something on me sitting next to that nigga, man. You got to be careful. Says, I'm just nervous about how good Watson will be, being realistic in his first game back. What do you think, Warner? Man, here's my deal, man. I'm not going to make it seem like Watson is going to go in there and throw 6 touchdowns and be perfect. I think you have to kind of leverage your thoughts on that. Here we go.
There's too much sauce.
Had to show love even though I'm not on tonight.
There we go. Appreciate that love, man. I appreciate that love. But like I say, man, you gotta hedge your expectations. And what I'm saying is, I say Kenneth saying I expect 3 touchdowns, and I think that's a legitimate thought. 3 touchdowns. That way, he surpasses that. Good. He reaches that. Fine. Anything under that, you kind of looking. If the game is a victory, cool. You take it as it is. If it's not a win, then you take it. I appreciate the love, Ray. Anything more than that, excellent again. And so I think you just don't go in there expecting to see the 19 touchdowns in 5 or 6 games. Just go in there with a mindset of, hey,
for the absences, boss.
Oh man, look, that's all good, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's all love. We understand. We glad you're back in action, man. But the thing is, like I say, go in there with the knowledge that we have a quarterback. that's the thing that we need to be happiest about. We don't even have to be concerned about, oh, we got the best quarterback in the league. And we saw what he can do. We saw what he's capable of. But let's not put that burden on him. Let him still have the ability to impress us. You know, we got a guy that can go in there and score with the best of them. But let's not expect him, second-year guy. Let's not say, okay, we expected Watson will go in there and throw 4 touchdowns and throw for 350 yards and run in 2 touchdowns. Dude, let's just let him be who he is. Let him create. Let him navigate each game. And let's just take it as it goes. I'm not going to put a whole bunch of pressure on his shoulders. We know what he has capability of being. Again, last year he was winging a lot of shit. This year he has a better understanding of defenses. This year he has better tools to work with. A slightly better line, But then there are other little nuances, again, that may change. There may be other things that take place that happen. We just have to let the games play out, but just be happy that we have a quarterback that has the ability to transcend, to take over a game, regardless of the play calls, regardless of what's going on around him, that he can create. We've never had this before. You go back and you could look at everything we've had, and no one comes remotely close to this. And so let's just appreciate that. Let's just appreciate what we have and be cool with that. Exactly. A franchise quarterback, man. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of where we got to go with that. Let me see. Honcho not trying to think of that, man. Look, here's the deal, man. Fuck Lamb. Goddamn. Look, I honestly, as I was working on some of the Know Your Tech stuff, I seriously considered, what if I just don't talk about him? Would anybody even notice if I didn't talk about him? But like I said, I'm going to release those every Monday of each week, kind of have like a constant thing going, each day kind of have I won't say have a theme to it, but at least, drop a Know Your Texans every Monday. So that gives you a position group you can focus on and kind of pay attention to that week. Instead of, like I say, trying to cram a whole bunch of okay, we'll work something out on that. I got your text on that one. We'll see what's happening. I'm not trying to make no Kendall Lab video. And like I said, I'm looking at these predictions from Sports Guy Situationtainment. I'll talk about his divisional picks. Okay. And so he has this is my thing. It's about sports fan. I'm not a fan of sports fan since day one. Again, I'm not a fan of a guy who can't have accountability for the things that he says. He went out there on a limb and said all this crazy shit. And then when it came time to justifying what happened, which makes more excuses than a little bit, man, just say, hey, how hard is it to say, man, I was wrong. I was wrong about that. I was completely incorrect. Nothing happens when you admit being wrong. Like, he tried to shit on he tried to shit on Deshaun Watson, said Mariota's going to be all this stuff. Like, was none of those things, come up with all these excuses, and it kills me. But anyway, that dude is ass. But anyway, his AFC South picks. The Colts and the Texans going 7-9. The Titans and the Jags going 10-6. But the Titans AFC South champ. How, Sway? Like, you got to be realistic. And let's just talk about the Titans versus the Texans alone. Okay. Now the Titans somehow they have the Jags number, but the Titans cannot beat a healthy Texans team. Like, I want to know where he's getting these numbers, because of those 6 losses, 2 of them have to be from the Texans. So my thing is this: 57 fucking points. How do you validate that and not having it? What did you do that prevents that from happening? You got Mike Vrabel as your coach. Again, you took a step backwards, in my opinion, in that department. You went and got Malcolm Butler. You got old motherfuckers out there, Bob Barker over there snagging on Malcolm Butler and the crew. We've seen what every player on the Texans has been able to do to Malcolm Butler. We adore Adoree Jackson, because we already know that shit. He's nothing but a penalty machine. He ain't got nothing for Will Fuller. Again, they haven't made the proper moves to really truly alleviate 2 of the touchdowns off of that fucking. They're still a 50-point loss team or a 50-point team, a team that we should have 50 on if we're looking at that type of comparison. They haven't made adequate enough moves to step it up. As long as Mariota's your quarterback, again, he's mediocre at best. And I can't remember who it was. It was super funny because somebody was one of the bigger national media guys was doing like a quarterback rundown, and that was the exact terms he used. He's like looking at Mariota, mediocre at best. I'm like, shut up, been calling this motherfucker mediocre Mariota since day one, And somebody who actually went back and looked at tape and really analyzed the situation recognized the same thing. But according to PFF, he had his best year ever, and that's what the Titans fans are going by. They're okay with this fake news because 13 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, but it's his best year ever. Again, if you want to be blind deliberately, hey, cool. That's cool. If that's what you want to do what you do, man. Like it is what it is. So again, that dude is garbage time conversation. So I mean, if you want to listen to that motherfucker, hey, go ahead, feel free. Do your thing. Do your thug thing. If you want to waste your time listening to sports fan entertainment, that's cool. Because again, when it comes down to it, when he takes those L's and when he's wrong at the end of the year, he will not own up to anything he says. He's going to come with a shit ton of excuses as to why, this happened, and he'll say in the future, but this is not going to happen this time because, and he'll be wrong again. And fucking, it is what it is, man. So my thing is, if you're not bringing valid information to the table, if you're not giving a real analysis or a breakdown, if you're going to be an opinionated person, if you're just going to be overly opinionated with no real validation in your takes, at least be willing to say, hey, I was completely wrong about that. What really took place was this, and this. Like I say, there's no fucking reason to not do that. There's nothing wrong with being held accountable for what you say, man. You say Jaguars a joke. Tennessee. Jaguars are more legit than Tennessee, honestly, because outside of quarterback, the Jaguars have capable tools to sustain in this division. Again, I'm not super confident in the Colts, even with Andrew Luck. Yeah, it's a big plus, but again, I'm not super confident in them. But if he is back to luck for him, I mean, this is going to be a real tough division to come out of, But again, saying the Texans go 7-7 with a healthy Deshaun Watson, that's what I don't understand. That Tennessee Titans fans truly believe that Marcus Mariota, who's won nothing ever in his life, is better than Deshaun Watson somehow. Deshaun Watson was better than Marcus Mariota day one. And I told y'all about that fucking situation. I got into it with some Titans fans. They went and they compared I want to say it was second or third year Mariota stats. They went and tried to find 7 consecutive games where Mariota had better stats than Deshaun Watson, and compared it to Deshaun Watson's again first 6.5 games. And they said, well, see, this is what it proves that, just because he had a run. No, it's a big difference when you have to go hunt for 7 consecutive games somewhere in the second or third year. Not the first game you start. No, we're not talking about a guy who's acclimated with the offense. We're talking about a rookie compared to a third-year player. But you're using this to justify your argument as this guy is just as good, or it annoys the fuck out of me. And that's why I say, man, it's really hard for me to listen to a lot of other people's takes and stuff like that, simply because it's a couple of things. One, I don't want other people's thoughts, affecting the way I think about it. So I try not to be swayed. I try to be original as I can in my own thoughts and opinions. And then 2, I get real annoyed. I get really annoyed with outside of the city, especially when they have thoughts on what's going on in Houston, especially people who don't pay any attention to it. I get really annoyed with those kind of people. It bothers me. D. Pritch, what's the motherfucking deal? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's all Malcolm Butler's known for. That one, people are rolling with Malcolm Butler for one interception that he had. Malcolm Butler has gotten burnt more times than a couple. You know what I mean? Now, would he have been an upgrade over what we had, and that's why we were interested in it? Yeah, absolutely. He would have been an upgrade. But to think that he's a shutdown corner, absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. So that's just my thing. Again, craziness, shenanigans, tomfoolery. But here's the deal. All right. Here is the deal. Yeah, I mean, man, look. But again, analytics, quote unquote, will get you anything that you want them to get you. If you really try hard enough, you can find the numbers that you want to justify what you say, man. But again, when we see Tennessee, that dude probably ain't even gonna upload no videos that week. You're gonna be looking real shit-faced. You know what I'm saying? I hope he got some Charmin, because his face gonna be looking real shitty when it's said and done. Yeah, because Mike Vrabel ain't able. Mariota is mediocre, and Butler is gonna be the butt. He's gonna be serving up touchdowns because he's gonna be getting scored on. But anyway, we ain't worried about all that shit. Not tripping on any of that shit. Here is the deal. Okay, we're gonna have a den tonight, but it'll be at 11 tonight. We'll have Man Up joining us this evening, and we'll be talking about what is true confidence. You know, we kind of briefly got into the conversation last week. We got to talking about, you know, last week when we were talking about, you know, all the surgeries and fakery that women like to do and think that they're confident, the things that people do to find confidence in themselves. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be continuing that conversation tonight. Talk about what is real confidence, and, you know, do you need to be surgically altered to have that? But it'll be at 11 tonight instead of 10 as usual. So what I'm going to do with that is I'll probably give you guys an early mixer. What time is it now, actually? I'll give you guys, it's almost 8:30. So probably about, let's say about 8:45-ish. We'll get some mixer action going. And then we'll get to when it's about time for the den. We'll drag up, and then we'll do the den at 11 instead of 10 tonight. So I want to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate you guys. Again, it is fucking Friday. I appreciate everybody who called in. I appreciate everybody who texted in. We make sure I got everybody's text. Said the Bears go 9-7 to the Saints and Patriots. That's what I say. Like, I can't. That dude just be saying shit. The dude just be talking out of his ass. He just really be talking out of his ass. Okay. I see a couple people referring to the shirt. Said, you know, can I extend them a little bit? We'll see what's up on the shirts. We'll see what's up on the shirts. I may be able to extend that a few more days if y'all are interested in getting the shirts for the pre-order. We'll see what's up with that. So. Man, it's all good, David Pritchard, man. I already know it's all love, man. Ain't no worries, no worries. Look, just make sure you there Sunday. Make sure you there Sunday for the pregame, because we gonna be talking big shit. But with that being said, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for showing love. I appreciate everybody for showing the super saucy, super chat love. I appreciate everybody holding down the. Let me reward. I ain't even reward y'all no sauce, man. I ain't even give y'all no giveaways. So this is what we gonna do. I mean, we gonna hook it up. We gonna hook everybody up with you know, right? Yeah, Nick right. Sometimes Nick right be Nick wrong, man. So like I say, with that being said, I appreciate all of y'all. Probably be on, like I say, on the mixer here in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. So, you know, join the mixer crew. We got plenty of shit to talk about. You know, we're going to talk a little crazy. And I'll probably try to get my pub up, since PUBG is finally a real game now. It's no longer the game preview, since it's an actual game. I'll see what's up with that. Maybe we'll, no, I don't know about Shaq Kush, because he polluted the stream last time we was on, so I don't want to relive that. I've been having nightmares about that shit since the day it happened. But, man, with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. But before we get up out of here, make sure y'all slide by. Well, that's the game time. But the pregame show, we'll make sure that y'all there. 11 o'clock, Texas versus Patriots. We're going to be talking big shit in the pregame. And then make sure y'all slide by StaySaucy.com and catch some of that fresh Sauce Sports merch. Like I say, there's plenty of options, lots of different variety. Again, the limited edition mugs are not there, but we have, there's mugs, we got towels, we got flags, we got socks. You know, some of y'all got some not so saucy feet, but you get some of them Sauce Sports socks, you'll be right. But again, I appreciate everybody who has, you know, cop some fresh Sauce Sports merch, man. I appreciate everybody who's been holding down the sauce, holding down the bread, holding down these things, and just been fucking with the flavor since day one, or whatever day you came aboard and been holding down. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your grandma. is going down Sunday. We will be back tomorrow, though. We will be talking sports tomorrow. But I'm anticipating Sunday because it's really going down. But y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Y'all are the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. Y'all stay saucy, and I'm out.